So, Paul, pitch me your genre piece with a deeply incongruous Dennis Quaid.
Okay, what is the place? I mean, the more difficult thing is trying to figure the place where Dennis Quaid would be at home. And entirely, oh, that's his milieu. He seems entirely natural in this. Like, what is that?
I'm pitching softballs, mate.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say, like, kids... I was going to say, like, a Barney the Dinosaur style experience, but now I'm picturing it, and I'm just kind of charmed.
What are you kids doing?
He's still dressed, though, as Dragonheart guy.
That's my
sword,
name,
but he's...
Dragonheart.
Larry Dragonheart. I'm going to solve this case. Yep, Dragon did it. Thanks, Dragonheart.
Surprise.
He says that about all the crime.
Yeah, he does stand out somewhat, doesn't he, in most things.
He's a conspicuous man.
Would Randy Quaid be better or worse in this situation?
In the dragon slaying situation, or the Barney the Dinosaur situation? I mean,
either or, mate.
I think in either case, many people are going to jail for allowing it to happen.
Yeah, if you check the law, which many people don't, and it's been really an issue.
Yeah.
Neither Randy nor Dennis Quaid are acceptable in any set.
It's a big issue, actually. The number of people who are breaking the law just because they can't be bothered to check it.
Yeah.
You know, no, you're not allowed to brick that old lady. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't read all the fine print.
I read page 1.
Of the law.
Yeah.
There was a picture of Sylvester Stallone yelling, and I didn't really progress. It was not a page turner. It was a Tina Turner though.
Hello and welcome to One Good Thing, the podcast that is literally on fire. It's not just a cool thing that kids say.
It's a very big reality to us kids. Oh, it's cool, is it?
Well,
say that to the Burns unit.
I remember back in my day when things were on fire, they were just on fire, and it was bad.
I remember once, this happened to me. I remember once saying, that's really groovy, and then a man with a long indentation down the middle of him came along, and the rest is history.
Check your privilege, youth. I'm Paul Goodman.
I'm Paul Salt.
And this week we're reaching for the last time in a while into the brain pit of Paul Salt, who has decided to defend 1996's Dragonheart.
1,000 years ago, there lived a man of honor and a creature of legend. But when the forces of evil threatened the land, they found there is no honor.
Men like you give people courage and hope.
Without risk. I wanted to live! Universal Pictures presents a motion picture that will make you believe. Dragonheart.
Starring Sean Connery and, crucially, not Randy Quaid, Dennis Quaid.
One of the Quaids, whichever one you can get.
Ideally, you want none of the Quaids, none McQuaid. But she's a nun. She wasn't available for this intensive shoot, so we've got Dennis Quaid.
Her first commitment is to starring in God. So
it's true. Her first commitment is to porno, and you gotta respect that.
I can't believe that's one of the sacraments that they have to make.
Thou shalt forever be a porn queen.
God's nasty. He likes his wife's nasty.
He's a nasty boy. Speaking of nasty boys, Rob Cohen directed this. Director of Fast and the Furious, XXX.
Yep.
And in the words of Paul Salt, The Mummy with Jet Li in it, and The Boy Next Door, my favourite film of all time, apparently.
Never check. I promise.
So yeah, we're in for something here. But Dragonheart. Critics reacted to it like being stabbed in their joint. David Thewlis. Effective. Chuck O'Leary at Fantastica Daily said, a laughable disaster. 1 out of 5.
Hey, I would put a laughable disaster 1 star higher than a non-laughable disaster. At least you're laughing. I didn't hear anyone laughing during Jack and Jill.
I didn't hear anyone laughing through your... I was going to say something really fucking dark.
What?
Through your father's eulogy, Chuck. Trying to think of something less horrible.
And that's a good eulogy of Paul Goodman. Oh, the things he might have said whilst he was thinking of something less horrible to say.
Oh, Christ. Because when you're trying to think of something less horrible to say, then you've created space in your brain for the horrible thing.
The jobs that passed him by and the girls he might have bedded just because he spent his time thinking of less horrible things to say.
Really stymied me.
He could have been the full-on Donald Trump if he just hadn't held back.
Oh, wait, here we go. I didn't hear anyone laughing during your application to become an OGT host, Chuck. Ha! Yeah.
Now go back and remind yourselves of the context, and I think you'll find that's a top quality gag.
It's top quality.
Top quality.
Speaking of top quality, takes your mama out for a nice steak dinner and only calls it back when he's fucking your mama's mama, Roger Ebert said.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, fuck yeah, he's a dirty dog.
Roger
Ebert. You should get right up in Siskel's face to do that, and it was hilarious. Laughable.
You just go over and really threateningly kick his chair and say, What? What?
What, motherfucker, what?
Move, bitch! And he'd stop yelling.
Get out of the way. And then Ludacris heard it and went, oh, there's a song in that.
He inspired every song that you were worried about hearing when you were a kid.
that your mama cared about. He said, Rob Cohen's Dragonheart is one of the most sublimely silly movies I've ever seen. Since it combines its silliness with special effects that are quite simply sublime, I must resist the urge to take easy shots at it.
My God, Roger Ebert is a testament to the power that CGI had in its early days, because this is not the first time that he is... Anaconda, he reviewed very positively because he was fucking bowled over by that CGI snake.
And who wasn't, Paul? That's the question I want to ask you today.
Yeah, well, now
thing.
It's extraordinary now for other reasons.
Yeah. I think Kermode is his spiritual successor, both incredibly sentimental wet blankets. They're both very, very good film critics.
One day, Kermode will get sent in the post Roger Ebert's baseball bat with barbed wire tied around it. And,
he'll have to craft a street identity.
Go out and carve your destiny, son.
Literally into someone's face. Into the face of a sucker.
Signed Roger Ebert.
It's amazing they cast him to play Ebert in the biopic. Life itself. Life itself. Public reacted like a heart with one half in a dragon and one half in a boy that grows up to be David Thewlis. That is to say, varies from person to person. Angels in Jeans 1. Nope, Angels in Jeans on the 1st of November 2003, said on IMDb.
Wow.
There are many fantasy films around today that show how far some people's imagination can be stretched. Loads of these films have the good idea, but the bad production making it a very poor film. This is not the case in Dragonheart.
Yes!
For a film to be a success, you need to show as much goodness you have as well as badness. You need to have the equal balance of a nasty character that contains the exact amount of evil to comply with this. In the case of Dragonheart, we have the evil King Einon, demonstrated by David Thewlis. A fine performance to show how much evil can be inflicted by the control of one heartless man. Control of one heartless man, Paul, on my heart.
I mean, he wasn't heartless. He had at least one half of a heart.
He had half heart, crucially, yeah, Dragonheart. His brave heart had been sold.
His brave
for Scottish purposes.
Heroin and shortbread.
Yet they continue. In every film we have a hero, or in this case, two. Dennis Quaid plays Bowen, a strong and faithful knight who lives in the service to protect others. Our other hero is the unlikely character of a dragon, Sean Connery, and his lovely voice, named Draco.
Less likely it's something like Turner and Hooch. Then it would be unlikely. Turner, I want you to meet your new partner.
Whoa. Hello. Ugh. Horrible, frightful.
How do you like your coffee?
Don't say shaken, not stirred. I'll literally murder you. Between these two heroes, an alliance is made and they work together in hope of making people's lives better. The direction, the acting, the costume and the characters all fit together to make this film be what I believe an amazing success. This film be an amazing success, Paul.
This film be an amazing success.
I know not many may agree to this, but I think when you look deep into this film, you can see the true magic that is brought alive by the relationship between these two characters. In my view, an amazing film, an amazing cast, and an amazing result.
Amazing.
3-0 to Man U.
Lads did well, and you can't argue with that. Yeah, my first review there.
As Cobra. You went deep.
In character. Fuck yeah.
It's only just coming out, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm relieved. I know his dear old mum is. Conversely, Kippo05 on the 29th of September 2007 said, this is a hard movie for me to rate because when I was small, I loved this movie. It was my favourite, in fact, but now that I am older and have watched it again, it just wasn't the same.
No!
I used to be amazed by the special effects and the acting, but upon reflection, there is very little to really like in this movie. That being said, Sean Connery does some very nice voice acting here. No full stop. It's postmodern. It's Sarah Kane. So basically what I'm saying is it's brilliant when you're small, so it's a good movie to watch with kids, but it's not very good on your own. This may be a good movie to buy just for a cheap thrill if you like medieval era stuff.
Well, so far both my conclusion and plot summary have been severely impeached upon, so...
That's the aim of the reviews, sir.
Fuck it. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. That's how we stick to the hour record time, because now we can just do farts. So, speaking of farts, it has 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.5 on IMDb, and 49% on Metacritic. So, Paul, you lass.
Oh, I didn't think of a thing. I need more men!
Oh dear, well, somebody do that. Somebody help him with that, because we've got to get on with this. Paul, you've got to tell me, why did you think you're above the code?
Nobody's above the code except film critics. He says it under his breath, but you got to listen.
Oh, wow.
Hang on a minute. Has Roger Ebert been in the editing booth again?
Roger!
he whoops past several guards who've been beaten to death.
Try and catch him, but he's greased up like a pig on market day.
He's got a gun.
Yeah,
I mean, he always got a gun. So, yeah, very much like the reviewer there, this was an early cinematic experience for the young Paul Salt. This is probably within my first 20 trips to the cinema. My main memory is of watching the intro, tearing up at the end, and then the traditional family movie debrief at McDonald's.
Aww.
Yeah, with
chips and ice cream.
And asking my family annoying questions about the film. Just a small boy in search of a podcast.
Why is the dragon Scottish?
What was your favourite thing about Sean Connery, Mum? Eat your chips.
It's the eyebrows. It's always the eyebrows.
Always the eyebrows. I'm so glad they used 90s technology to capture that. But I loved it as a kid, and I watched it a lot as a child. And then a few Christmases ago, I saw about half an hour of it around the middle. When it was from the point when they're training up the villagers to fight, and then a bit of the battle. I saw that, and it still seemed quite good. So I was very eager for us to thoroughly dispel that impression by revisiting it.
Perfect. Thanks, OGT.
Never go back.
I hadn't seen it ever in my life.
Oh wow. Okay.
So this is the first time I had to Google it to figure out who was in it. So so I knew it was worth watching. And I totted up 70 points out of the required 65 to get me interested. And
hell of a cast.
Yeah, hell of a cast. Shao Kahn is in it.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to mention him a few times.
And more.
And more. Oh, she's very hard to get. Roger Moore's sister.
She's a forever person, so she'll come around long before we do, Paul.
She'll swing around, in as much as she will live through cycles of the Earth and appear in every film eventually. This particular cycle, she's appeared in very little, but, she's taking it easy. Last cycle, starring all in The Matrix.
I can't wait to see Orlando Moore in all future roles and genders.
I'll tell you this, Sayno Moore is a better actor. Sayno Moore is...
Sayno Moore.
Is her older brother, Sayno Moore. And he's a much better actor.
Oh God, that's true. He's been playing many roles within all of our hearts, and we know how closed off I am from mine. Can you hear the huge rainstorm happening outside?
No.
Okay.
But I imagine it will be on mic.
Okay, cool. Well, if it is, that's just a little bit of scene setting for the people at home. It's a Paulie Goodman hosting spectacular. No storms when I'm not hosting.
Excellent.
With all of that, with that absolute sonic nightmare happening all around me. Paul, why don't you tell me what bloody hell happens in Dragonheart?
I would be happy to. Series training continues as Shao Kahn shows up. You know what? I might have to be less metatextual in my description here. We've got King Randy Quaid. Nope.
Yeah.
We've got the legendary knight Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Who is training the young ginger David Thewlis how to fight on top of an hill.
Yeah.
So he's learning all the skills you need to be a good Jet Li. And Shao Kahn shows up to report that there's a peasant uprising while saying David Thewlis is a prince.
Yeah, otherwise they'd be like, why are you telling us we are also peasants? I just wanted you to know that your team's doing all right.
They're doing pretty good, bye. Shao Kahn. Legendary man.
The peasants are revolting.
They've always been revolting, Prince. But now they're rebelling. King Frame wants his son to witness his noble victory.
There's nothing noble about crushing desperate men.
You traitorous scum!
So, yeah, they both ride off. Dennis Quaid mentions the code a couple of times, which is a very important set of rules that basically just extends to don't be a dick.
Yeah, please don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick, come on. It's medieval times, everything's rubbish.
Yeah, King's forgotten about the code, though.
Yeah, the king is a bad dude.
Engaging in the kingly duties of setting light to peasants' huts by himself. God save
I'd follow that man
our
anyway.
gracious king.
You see, that's a king he can respect. He oppresses you individually, one-to-one, personally.
Boris Johnson wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
Can't stand to be around you.
He wouldn't spit on you to, to piss you off
Put out
the
the
day.
fire that he started on your house.
Yeah, he'd pay someone else to do it. And then charge himself a consultancy fee for having done so. But, yeah, they finally managed to bring down the king and kill him. And then just go away. Nobody wants to steal that crown he's got, or, his fucking head, just to prove you did it.
They're an anarchic commune, mate. They're not going to replace one despot with another. They trust in each other.
Come on, everyone, let's not become what we hate. Yay!
Let's start up a self-reliant symbiotic system.
They run off.
Yeah.
Einon is the prince, David Foulis,
yes.
and he kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So he just steals his dying father's crown, and then he demonstrates along with the young Miss Dina Mayer why it's important not to have pointy decorating schemes in your medieval villages.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's chic. Bloody death trap, this place. Honestly, taking more people than the king, that's pointy pillar that they've put in there.
It is an absolute nightmare, but peasants, they're a simple folk.
Simple folk.
Surprised.
And they still think that brutalist architecture is chic. So
surprised by big shiny spikes and big shiny balls. And yeah, Einon is shoved into it and he dies, but he's given the opportunity to resist that. So he goes, he's dragged there by Shao Kahn.
He's dragged home where Julie Christie, who's in it, she sees a convenient shelf of various dragons, which reminds her that she knows a dragon.
Yeah, hang on.
So they hit.
Oh yeah. Drag. Now it's gone.
So they head out to its cheap-looking lair.
Yeah.
Whoa! So the dragon voiced by Sean Connery.
The king's son, cruel and full of trickery. Is this why you've come, Dragon Slayer's wife?
Decides that what he's going to do is give Einon half of his heart.
Yes.
In order to bring him back to life, in the hopes that it'll make him less cruel and horrible. Because I don't know, maybe it's worth a go.
Maybe.
If he's not king, then fucking King Bran the Broken has to take over.
Christ.
Nobody wants that.
They're going to make Bronn Master of Coin. Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. So this is the better option.
Yeah.
Is to leave Joffrey alive and the winner. So Einon decides he wants a castle built on top of a lake because I don't know, he just sucks.
Einon Kleinen request.
Really sucks.
Yeah. He's got an idea for an epic bit of slave savagery. Which is truly horrendous, and it creates the first bit of tonal whiplash I get during the film.
They're cutting the eyes out.
Well, just this idea of having this epic task that takes many, many years and enlisting thousands of people to do it after he's been had his life saved is different from all the swashbuckling silliness that I've enjoyed so far. It really makes you think about how horrible it would be to be a slave for 12 years and then have your eyes put out.
Look, good dog. I'm the last thing you'll ever see. Burn the insolence out of his eyes.
Dennis Quaid noticed that this guy just sucks, and so he decides to undertake an epic...
Hang on a minute. He's a wanker.
But he's not going to realise that yet, so he undertakes an epic quest of denial in order to avoid addressing that fact, and says that it was the dragon that caused him to be just the worst. And so he's going to hunt down every dragon.
Which he does.
Which he does successfully, weirdly.
Every single one. There are 7 dragons.
And he kills 4 of them. The rest died of natural causes.
Yeah.
Comedy relief Postlethwaite shows up as a bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooray.
As a somewhat good bard.
Oh, Avalon, bright Avalon, think me not a fool. My quest is not for vanity. My quest is spiritual. Spiritual? Marry. Spiritual.
Then watches Randy. I'm going to say Randy Quaid. I hate this. He watches Randy Quaid empty a toilet into a bucket, and then he sees Dennis Quaid kill a dragon. So it's a mixed day for old Postlethwaite.
But he's holding it well. Turns out he's a good actor. He comes across not Randy Quaid, killing. Well, he's attacked by a dragon, and then Randy Quaid. Dennis Quaid shows up, riding over a hill.
Yeah.
Bringing to mind, not for the first time, John Wayne in The Conqueror. And he goes and kills a dragon off screen, probably because of budget and also good taste.
Yeah, tonal things as well. It's going to be harder to sympathise him if we see him kill one of these things. It's time to check in with King Einon. And somehow he's ended up Northern. How is that?
I wish we were down there.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Just to see you in action, Bowen.
Some are good at hunting men, some are good at hunting money. Both have value for me.
Is it because of his Dragonheart? There's the half a heart got him halfway to Scotland.
He's the same Einon, but with one Einon Kleinen twist.
Fuck you, sir.
Idiot.
So he's Northern and the worst. He's still killing and torturing everyone, and he gets Dina Meyer.
Yeah, oh no.
No, he's got her now. Well, no, he kills her dad, I think, at this stage.
Yeah, she approaches as he and Jason Isaacs, who's in this, and obviously
he's great.
Guy, are firing arrows just to the sides of her lovely father's blind ears. And she says, "Please, sirs, now you've blinded him and made him work on your castle for 12 years a slave. Can you just let him go? What, you mean release him? Oh yeah, I guess release him is probably the..."
I was very specific about my wording. Please let him go into the countryside where he can live. Okay. My rule was considered that letting him go into the countryside to live is death.
I didn't say I would release him.
Leverage. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Dennis Quaid has found Sean Connery dragon and is hunting him.
Yes.
He throws a spear at him for a water fountain. And
Yes.
Sean Connery says, "Is that the best you can do?" In an accent?
Is that the best you can do?
It's hard to say.
Is he doing an accent, or is that just him?
Well, let me counter that question with the question, is Dennis Quaid doing an accent?
He's doing gruff man, and that works in any setting.
Oh, God.
Any setting.
One must earn a living. Oh, don't flatter yourself. It's not the profit. It's the pleasure.
Especially this one. So they fight. They have a scuffle.
They do.
Man on dragon.
Yeah.
Man on dragon. And
Yeah.
they
At one stage, he does manage to tie himself to the dragon by, frankly, magic. Is the only way to explain how that fucking happened.
dragon hunting magic.
It turns into a comedy sequence.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It turns the dragon into an anthropomorphic fuckboy. Who loves to show how surprised he is at just about everything, and holler down insults.
Screaming things like, holler down amazing and great gags like, "Come visit the woods!"
Do you want me to drop you off anywhere?
And exclaiming things like, "Yikes!" and "Drat!"
Yeah.
Yikes! Drat!
Which you do say when you're in peril.
I have.
No, but nobody actually. It seems really forced and trite, but the next time you're tied up by Dennis Quaid when you're flying through the sky, you just wait for that yikes.
So it transpires that Dennis Quaid doesn't actually recognise this dragon as being the one who put half his heart into King Einon, which makes you think, do all of the dragons talk like Sean Connery? Because it's quite distinctive.
That was my mother. She was just saying,
"Come in for your breakfast." Okay, mother, I will. I don't know where that was going. That drifted off real fast.
Oh fuck! Yeah, they have some amusing contretemps. They have some misunderstandings. He wants to kill him, and he wants to kill him. How are they ever going to get along? It
also turns out that this is the last dragon.
Yeah.
And that Dennis fucking Quaid has killed a whole bunch of his friends. That's really complex and dark, and it's really hard to see how they'll ever get. Oh, we got whipped in the dick.
Uh-oh.
Loved it.
Oh
Loved
my
it, mate.
gosh. What's going to happen next? Well, he has a heart attack, it looks like. Because basically, I was going to say Rob Thewlis. There's not even a person I know called Rob Thewlis.
Nobody.
So Rob Thewlis, maybe I was thinking of Robert the Bruce. That's definitely Braveheart, you see. So Robert the Bruce, played by David Thewlis, is at a party or something, and is just having men fight to the death for his enjoyment or something.
Yeah, he's having a very raucous time, which Julie Christie doesn't like very much. She'd have loved it in the 60s, though. She was super nasty back then.
Fucking hypocrite.
Now she just does things like let Dina Meyer go.
Yeah.
It's rubbish.
Yeah. Who for context, she shows up, tries to call David Thewlis, and he captures her and goes, no, and then fast forward, she tries to stab him, and it doesn't work, but it does give the dragon a bit of chest pain.
Yeah, just as he's about to say his name. It's like, so what's your name then? My name is...
You're right, that is hard to pronounce.
Are you spelling it?
A
Well, they come to an arrangement, does the dragon and old Dennis Quaid. It transpires that this has been less a sort of bloodthirsty and tragic quest for vengeance and more of a business prospect for Bowen, because he agrees that now that there's only one left, it would behoove him to fake dragon attacks in order to con dirt-poor villagers out of their precious resources.
Truly the hero's journey.
Draco does realise the ethical implications of this, but fuck it, you know?
Fuck it. When you're the last of your kind, when you're the last of anything,
So-
morals really leave him at the border.
Yeah, as evidenced by the fact that he does at one point really I fuck some sheep, so...
Hello.
Anything goes.
Sean Connery's contract had to let him just be himself.
He improvised the line, they animated around it. He actually said that just as a member of the production team came into the recording room.
Yeah.
And they decided, we'll use it.
Come on, I've got to sexually harass someone on set. So
here's your pay, Mr. Connery, and the most recent restraining orders. Thank you.
All in a day's work. So they do this for a while.
Pile.
Yeah.
There was a moment where they sit down together at a fireplace, and he's talking about the dragon that he hates most of all.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never did find him, and I guess if you're the last, I never will. Oh, Dennis Quaid. Oh, dear son.
Yeah, it's just a real shame that you've...
That dragon really fucked over that kid, though. That kid sucked! How did you know that? Oh, everybody knew that kid sucked.
Witty dragon limerick that did the rounds once.
I was singing an unrelated song. Oh, okay.
Anyway, Bowen, ward of Einon. Mysterious knight, whom I've never met.
I wonder how Julie Christie's getting on. He wonders aloud.
Little minx.
What's that, mate? I wasn't listening.
What was that? Punching myself in the balls.
Anyway, yes, they grow closer over the summer.
Do you reckon Dennis Quaid has to be constantly looking over his shoulder in case Randy Quaid is there?
Trying to he's got his chloroform and he's always dressed in the exact same costume as Dennis Quaid, hoping that he'll get him and be able to sneak into the movie. And sometimes he did. That was not meant to be Randy Quaid in Independence Day. Why would it be?
That was meant to be a somber moment.
Hiya, boys. I'm back. I'm back!
No.
Randy Quaid, Jesus. Anyway, Dina Meyer shows up at Goat Village, and they all have a big laugh at her and her nonsense about fighting back against the King's army of 12 guys and Julie Christie. Pipe dreams, vote Tory.
They've got Jason Isaacs and Shao Kahn.
We can't win against that. But luckily, here comes Sir Farage in order to distract the Povs with a fake enemy that's actually more closely plays into their existing prejudices and seems easier to defeat than the systemic inequality that really imprisons them. This is such a 90s film. I can't relate to any of it.
It's Ken Loach.
So the nature of the scam is that the dragon shows up, terrorizes them, he pretends to kill the dragon, and then they meet up later and split the gold. So he goes to a nearby mountain and tells them, I convinced them that sacrificing a maiden would make the dragons go away, so let's just go ahead and demonstrate that solution works for some problems. Maybe others, who knows? They can figure that out for themselves, but it's Dina Meyer, so if he could eat her, that'd be great.
Yeah. Wait, what?
You're genuinely okay with that? Yeah, but if we make it a comedy beat, it'll seem less shocking. All right.
You ate Reglamore, hypocrite.
I merely chewed in self-defense, but I never swallowed.
Wait a minute. Randy Quaid! Get out of here! Oh.
Somebody find Dennis Quaid's body and put some caffeine in it.
Well, we can't shoot that again because we literally have no money.
Shit, it's all the awkward comedy. The scenes after Randy Quaid usurped Dennis in this movie. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's the only theory I've got. And Sean Connery rinsed the production budget with his multitude of sexual harassment cases. So they decide that eating is probably not the best way to go because, after all, this is a lady that the dragon Sean Connery can try to fuck.
Give it a go. Come on.
Rest in peace.
So you've seen Bad Dragons. You know that the human body can accommodate all sorts of crazy shit.
You've seen Dirty Dragon starring Robert De Niro.
So Einon shows up at the water fountain that they've been calling home. Yeah, they have a fight, he and Dennis Quaid, in which he says, I just wanted to learn how to fight. I never listened to any of your moralistic sermonizing. Bullshit. And at this stage, you have to wonder, maybe Dennis Quaid is just super gullible. Maybe that's his character. I mean, pick up on much.
Doesn't have much in the way of critical thinking skills, does it?
Hang on, you've been lying to me, and this dragon is nice, and it's definitely the only one left, that one over there. He talks like Sean Connery. I'm piecing it together. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
I don't know, I seize a dragon, I kill it.
Dina Mayer's like, I don't know what any of this is. So, yeah, Quaid and Dina Mayer have a nice bonding moment, but then she ruins their con at Pig Village. Oh,
Aww.
Tries to get in the way.
That's. I thought that was going to be. She was also in on the ruse, and it was like a double bluff, because of the nice moment they had before that.
Yeah, exactly. But no, she's just going to fuck this up for them.
Bloody women.
Bloody women. Never trust any one of them, especially Dina Mayer. So it turns out the pig villagers are actually desperate for meat. There's a thing there about the labouring classes and such. You know, like those Amazon workers handling all these luxury items whilst earning pennies themselves. This is basically Nomadland.
It's basically Nomadland.
Basically Nomadland.
But it's Dragonheart, directed by Rob Cohen.
Therefore, it's better. Should have won every Oscar. A con goes bad, and I guess they decide we can't really do this anymore.
Not out of morals, just it's not practical.
Pete Postlethwaite accidentally grabs Dina Mayer's boob, and that's him recruited. So they got him now.
One of the boys.
Fuck your son, says Sean Connery. Gives him a high five.
Thou shalt not Copperfield.
God, you're nice. So, yeah, they go to Avalon, the resting place of King Arthur himself. It's only a model. At which point Draco, Drake, the musical artist Drake, reveals that he was the dragon who gave Einon a heart, because he really hoped to reunite dragons and mankind, but also get a sweet spot in Dragon Heaven. Mostly Dragon Heaven. Sounds so good. You got Nintendo up there.
It's better than Human Heaven.
The dragon's in it, bitch.
Yeah. Human Heaven has the Nintendo, but no plug sockets. Why does it need to run on electricity in heaven?
You can just look at the box. So yeah. Oh, but Dragon Heaven wants to borrow Nintendo game.
Pilot Wing 64.
Fling it over. So they want to know what it's like to fly. So Bowen finally realizes that Einon just fucking suck.
Yeah.
Bad guys.
Oh,
hang on. I've been defending that guy so bad, but you know what? Now I see it.
Now I see it.
Not a good dude. No, it's just he borrowed my stapler and he gave it back with no staples except for one that was jammed into the nozzle. So.
It was all toothy and chewed up in there, and you can't get it out after that.
I can't get it out now. I can't imagine that the last staple in the block was the one that jammed it. So I'm guessing he jammed it and then took the other staples out and kept them and returned the stapler.
That just shows a complete lack of respect for me and my property. But also, what's he doing with the loose staples now?
Just in his pocket. He's a monster.
Oh Jesus.
So they return to Goat Village because fuck Pig Village. Nobody going back there. They go to Goat Village where they want to recruit people. Oh, yeah. We don't want to fight for you. Well, check out this badass shot of me with the dragon at sunset. It's noon. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait a while.
Do you play cards? We eat cards.
We were at Pig Village before. Oh, really? Yeah. My cousin lives out there. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, Ben. Oh, I mean, we didn't really socialize.
Yeah, it's on my mother's side, so it's kind of distant. Oh, okay.
He kind of looks like me. I can't help you, mate.
Oh. So that covered 2 minutes at the time.
6 hours later, he does that, and it looks good. So they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll fight with this guy. Postlethwaite turns out to be a badass with a bow. He's a different man now since he got some boob.
It's all it takes. A little bit of tit. Does you right.
Can we think of a rhyming slogan? Little bit of tit. Now you're it.
As in cool. Like the kids say.
Asterisks at the bottom, as in cool. Fuck yeah, what an effective advertising campaign. I'm in.
Little bit of tit, here's this awesome certificate.
Yes. Okay, now I'm on board again. I'm unironically on board again.
With the concept of titties.
Shao Kahn confronts David Thewlis, saying, we're going to need more than 12 men for this one. But don't worry, because Julie Christie went and got some dragon slayers. Fuck yeah, there's classic Christie. She'll get sex workers and blind mystics next. Time for battle.
Yes.
Einon's got a big castle.
Yeah.
But will his pride get the better of him? No, it's a big dragon.
Yeah.
The big dragon gets the better of him.
It's the moral tale for the ages.
Really? Don't we all have a massive dragon that'll burn us out of our homes if we don't play ball? So, they get chased into the forest, where there's a big battle. And Postlethwaite gets a bit conflicted. But he plucks up the courage to fire some comic relief shots. But also a shot at Einon that brings Draco down over the castle.
Oh, no.
You see? He used violence and got his comeuppance. It's fine for everyone else.
Yeah.
But not for him.
Yeah.
The trick is to not think about it.
But learn from it.
So, yeah, the big thing here is that if Draco dies, then so does David Foulis. Yeah. And that's the only way to kill David Foulis. Yeah. So
still is.
It's a good thing that those Dragon Slayers spent a whole bunch of time tying him up first, instead of just plunging a spear into his heart.
Yeah. They're Dragon Slayers by trade, but they are jobbing Dragon Slayers, so they, easily bought.
Yeah, they want to drag this out a bit. Charge you by the hour.
Ooh, I'm going to have to get a 7-inch for that.
I'll see what I've got in the van, mate. It's been out there for 12 hours. Sorry, parked it next village over. So, yeah, at this point, Bowen goes in with the rather dramatic, I go to save the dragon. Who will go with me? I mean, we didn't really bond with him, to be honest. Yeah. He said some really weird stuff about hitting women. So
yeah, and the two of you were con artists. You were gonna fleece us for everything we've got of poor peasants. I mean, you could have been focusing that on the ruling classes the whole time. Yeah, but that's gone. That's in the past. I'm Dennis Quaid. Oh, you're Dennis Quaid.
Guy now.
Oh,
I
fuck
had a
yeah.
nice
Okay.
moment.
Thought you were.
Oh, thank God.
Thought you were Randy Quaid.
Yeah, they changed their minds because fuck yeah, Goat Village forever. Fuck Pig Village.
Yeah, so he wins them. They storm the castle. There's a fight between Dennis Quaid and David Thewlis. There's a fight between everybody else in their matches.
There's a fight between everyone and Jason Isaacs, and somehow Jason Isaacs dies.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
The guy I would not have fucking remembered had they not cast Shao Kahn in the role attacks Dina Meyer.
Yeah.
And she's got a massive axe that she can't really use very well, and he says, let me cut that down to size for you. And she uses it to kill him immediately. Thanks, that's a lot better.
Thanks, you dumbass.
It really, really helps.
Yeah. Oh, great. I can use this to kill everyone now.
There's some swashbuckling.
Yes.
Dennis Quaid has a go at a non-comedic screaming, but it doesn't go great.
No.
And that ultimately he does the right thing. He kills Draco, and that kills David Foulis, and everyone gathers around. And I remember as a kid being like, nobody's mourning David Foulis. They're only sad about Draco, and his body's just there. Like, some people are standing on it.
Yeah.
Someone must have liked him a bit.
Well, they're all dead, Paul.
They're all dead as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but Dennis Quaid gets really sad. He's like, what are we going to do without you, Draco? I mean, I hadn't really taken on much in the way of management responsibility. I kind of just spent my time telling you to believe in the thing you already believed in. Hey, you fucked all my sheep! Well, I best be off.
Bye.
Bye! He turns into a big star. And all the dragons get together and have a big, awesome space orgy up in the sky. And then turn into a constellation that winks at everyone. Fuck yeah! New age of peace.
See you, kids. See you next time.
And a rapping kangaroo comes in. And Bowen and Dina Meyer become king and queen of whatever this was. Somehow.
Sure. You got to imagine. And that is the end of Dragonheart.
It sure is, mate.
1996 of Paul's life. So Paul, now you've seen it again, revisited it as a jaded old man.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? How'd you feel down in your butt?
I'll say, first of all, it's amazing how small it felt. You know when you go back to a place you've not been to since you were a kid, and you're like, I remember this place being massive.
Yeah.
It's like that, the movie. I remember this being the most epic thing ever. But visually, thematically, and run-timely, it's actually quite a bit shorter than I remember and smaller. Yeah. I like the aesthetic. Still like that. The music isn't as consistently symphonic as I remember. Sometimes a bit more Casio in places. But it still has some great themes that meant a lot to me. And it hits on a lot of sort of fantasy movie beats, you know? Dragons, knights, evil kings, battles in the woods, rain-swept countryside. It's all you want when you're a kid, you know? It's all the stuff. And the humor is fairly kid-friendly. Read slightly grating for adults.
Yes.
Consequently, I think this is a good, fantasy movie primer for kids who maybe haven't yet got the attention span for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, okay.
But as an adult viewer, I'd have liked for it to have been a bit meatier.
Okay.
More character moments to flesh out the relationships a bit better. Slow things down a bit. You can take more than 90 minutes to stage your epic fantasy.
Yeah.
But I can't really fault the things it did. I kind of like the concept, the story, the characters such as they were, and it's just got that little spirit of adventure.
Yeah.
It puts me in mind of being like a wee boy being taken to the Celtic Experience or the Pictavia Centre in Scotland or King Arthur's Labyrinth. It's kind of cultural for me, my fondness for this kind of thing. It's even if they have stuffed it full of Americans and Sean Connery, it just reminds me of my childhood and stories my parents told me. I wish they taught me Gaelic or something cool. Pricks. I just got Dragonheart.
I thought you were going to say they taught me Kickboxer. They showed you the movie Kickboxer and had you learn all the moves.
They taught me that movie.
And then you went on to make it.
But what about you, man? How was it for you watching it for the first time as an old man?
Well, interestingly, old man.
Yeah.
Terrible old man.
Terrible.
Racist man. Well, I will say first off with the soundtrack, I had this feeling with The Dig as well, which I watched this week, where the chord, like the melodic progression in each of the pieces was exactly as you'd expect it to be. It did in that triumph when it was a triumphant tune, it would play the triumphant scale, and it would go exactly as you'd expected. But the fact that it did that was a sincerity that I just found so charming. I love the fact that it didn't try to subvert anything. It was just full on heart on its sleeve kind of music.
I was surprised by the Pete Postlethwaite suite. You kind of get the... It's like, what is this?
I don't know. And nor did Pete.
It's the Hobbit. It's basically Hobbiton, pre-Hobbiton. And the sad ending music when he dies, that
was sad. It
was sad. It was good.
Look, I welled up a bit when that was happening. It was genuinely sad. And it's because this film, it was a mix of nostalgia for a time that wasn't really mine, to say your childhood.
Yeah. Like when I saw Mulan. It's like, oh yeah, this is a 90s movie I never saw. I completely feel that.
And then the feeling of watching an epic from the 50s. Dennis Quaid, the incongruous American, who's thrown in there. Like I said, Conqueror comes to mind.
Yeah,
Target Eye.
Well, Kevin Costner and fucking Robin Hood.
It's very much of its time. And
I'm Robin of Nottingham.
Sure you are, Kevin.
I know a lot of people from Nottingham, and they all speak exactly like that.
What are you looking at? Can't. So there was that, and it was a very comforting watch. I actually really enjoyed myself. In part because of this, of how well those pieces came together to create this feeling of nostalgia. It was very silly, Paul.
Oh yeah,
it was extremely silly.
It was silly.
And it was very sweet and moralistic. And in those moments, it had the silly moments, but in the sweet and serious and sort of moments of teaching moral lessons to the kids, it very often tipped over into Holy Grail territory for me.
Yeah.
The far-off shot of soldiers amassing is Lancelot approaching the wedding. David Thewlis looks like Michael Palin's Galahad.
Yeah, he's an odd... I liked him. I liked Thewlis. He was awful.
I liked him very much.
Yeah, I'd have loved more moments with him because he was effectively... God, you know what? Now I've made the Robin Hood connection. I do realise this was probably like a Robin Hood knockoff because he's doing Alan Rickman.
It's got a dragon.
But it's got a dragon in it.
It was frenetically shot at times. Some of the stuff was pure Dark Place. Some of it was pure Monty Python. I laughed an awful lot, and I had a lot of nostalgia there as well. Some of it was just mad. Sean Connery's lunatic casting. The anthropomorphic dragon is mental.
But works, weirdly. He is a character in the movie that kind of feels like he is part of this world.
Weirdly, yeah.
It's hard to do the talking dragon, I think they did it for all the, shade I like to throw at The Hobbit. I do think that they did the Benedict Cumberbatch dragon as Smaug. Yeah. Yes. It's quite well, but it's tricky. It's hard to do that.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, this is a cartoon character. It's a cartoon character. But then, you've got this anthropomorphic talking dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, a human sacrifice. You should probably eat her. Your dad's a 12 years a slave dad. And let's put out his eyes. It was crazy all over the place.
In a very particular way that is very evocative of the 90s. It's like we hadn't figured out tone just yet in terms of family blockbusters, because we're coming out of the 80s where family stuff was just bleak. Was bleak. So it's like, well, now we want like Jim Carrey style gags in it, but we also still want to have some really sinister stuff in there, because that's all we write.
All you can in the 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it was. I can understand why, from a serious bent, you would review it, you know, a 5 out of 10, say. but I would struggle not to feel something.
Yeah, I would.
I think.
Yeah,
for this,
and I think I'd recommend it. I'd recommend it to people, you know, who are interested in fantasy movies and just generally 90s films as well. But I think it's just a good laugh. I think it's a good time.
I think it's a very good laugh. I would almost. It wouldn't be fair to call it a so bad it's good movie because there was some because I actually connected to it a little bit. Yeah. But half of it is that.
Well, good. As long as everything that's sort of good about it is good and everything that's not good about it is hilarious, then it can join the ranks of like Highlander in terms of efficacy.
Exactly.
And I think that's good company.
I was thinking of Highlander a lot. Half semi because of Sean Connery, but also because of the dumb stuff. Some of which will be mentioned in the quickfire section, which is now.
That's now, right? Shuffling now. Quickfire. You want me to immediately melt into a small puddle? You put the 90s Universal logo at the beginning of your movie.
Oh, that's just my first one as well.
Yeah, it's fucking glorious. I love it. And my copy had like the modern Universal logo followed by the old Universal logo. Oh. And I was really relieved when I knew that was there. And the music, the music kicks in, and straight away that's got me going. And I'd expect nothing less from the guy who scored Billy Madison, who, incidentally, is actually a three-man without counting this, because he scored Anaconda, Surviving Christmas, and The Boy Next Door.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
A long-time collab with Rob Cohen. Cohen Lab.
Oh, shit.
Hey, you want to come for another Cohen Laboration? Please don't call it that.
It's pretty good. One other thing, about the opening few minutes is I really like the flashy title of the flare of fire, and then the cross appears and it zooms out into the title. That, again, felt very 90s.
Fuck yeah, 90s. The Universal logo is very nostalgic. Also made me think of basketball, so...
I think of Jaws when that comes up, so we've each got our own... Actually, Jurassic Park had that logo. Jaws had the 70s Universal logo.
Yeah, different upbringings. That's all right. Very early on, there's a wide shot of horses traversing the green leading into a forest, and it's a big epic shot.
Yeah.
Of, look, we hired 25 people to ride horses here. We didn't just do it all with one man, one horse, and camera trickery.
Repeat it over and over again. Like Keystone Cops, you've got two horses riding around the camera.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, I think, the beginning sparring between Dennis Quaid and Einon, which includes him fighting whilst pouring water, which was very cheesy, but I enjoyed.
Yeah, that was great. I think Dennis Quaid looked great in general.
Yeah.
He actually, before he opened his mouth, he looks like a fucking awesome fantasy hero.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike his performance. I just thought it was wonderful in a different way.
Okay, it was pretty good the way that he, the dragon has his sword, and in a moment of fury, Bowen snatches it back, but from the dragon's grip, the sword now has like a scratch right down the middle of it, and there are sparks that fly, and it is now smoking, just from having pulled it out of its grip. You know, it has permanently changed the nature of this sword, and that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've mentioned just how incredibly dark Einon's epic dream is. The introduction to the dragon, to Dragonheart, is... Yeah. I thought what they were doing was because they don't show the dragon for the first couple of minutes.
Which I like a lot.
Which I really liked. Yeah. I thought, probably because...
Tease them.
They were just obscuring and teasing, and that was really cool. Also, maybe because it looked really cartoonish, but that was what they were going for, so it's hard to say. But I liked that. It creates a little bit of anticipation.
Absolutely. The shadow of the dragon as it goes overhead. It's good stuff.
You have the poet's gift of exaggeration.
That's a good line. I like that.
Yeah. What's this reminding me of? It's George Clooney's character in Hail Caesar.
If we had but eyes that... If we had but...
Yeah. It's like his lines like, Pontius. Saying anything remotely epic and noble in a sort of gruff American accent. It's just the 50s.
It is.
Dennis Quaid chucks his spear at Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Like when he's behind the waterfall and the spear sticks in him, and the like what's it? The shaft, the stick bit of the spear.
Yeah.
The shaft of the spear. Yeah. It's poking out through the waterfall, and he sort of chomps it.
Yeah.
And it retracts through the waterfall.
Yeah.
As he does.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That is pretty good. It's good motion that they use on that, of it sort of tremoring as it goes in. Yeah. I love Oscar Isaacs. I love Oscar Isaacs in this. He's completely fuckable again. It really repaired a lot of the damage of last week. Also, Jason Isaacs is here. Oh, any relation? Probably not. Jason Isaacs is probably,
because their surnames are different.
Yeah, spell and pronounce their name differently. But yeah, he's here, and he's a kind of horrible... he's meant to be compared to Shao Kahn, who's the sort of butch, sycophant. This one is the kind of sycophant. He's the Smithers.
I should have known. Foreign riffraff. Well, begone, vagabond, before I arrest you.
It's a waste of money. It's just a few peasants waving pitchforks. I notice they're all on your land. You're not too busy hawking in your old age to keep control of your minions.
And at one point, Bowen travels past him and just says, I'll go by road. King Einon hasn't taxed that. And then we see him sort of doing a ponderous face. And then the next scene begins with him saying to David Foulis,
a road tax, King Einon. A road tax?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fun.
Fuck yeah, joke for the dads and the mums.
Bloody government. Get him, Dennis Quaid.
I'm so sad now, reality. If only Tony Blair could be in power.
If only. He's got all the best ideas.
Fools.
And concepts about what identities are allowed.
I like how he says things thricely. Okay, so it looks cool when they're in the stalemate. Dennis Quaid is in the dragon's mouth, and he's got his sword up into the roof of his mouth. And the idea is, if he bites down, Dennis Quaid will. If the dragon bites down, Dennis Quaid will die, but the sword will also go into the dragon's brain.
Yeah.
And then it fades out, and it's nighttime suddenly.
Yeah.
Which is a great transition in itself, because it just shows that they've been there in the exact same position for hours.
Yeah.
But very quickly after that, we hear Pete Postlethwaite, who's composing poetry about the fight.
Yeah.
And about it being nighttime, and it was just excellent timing and great delivery. I loved it.
Into the moonlit night, the Titans dueled, in mortal combat bound. Oh, who'd the fatal false step make, whose blood would stain the ground?
I like the fact that Sean Connery at that stage is repeating Bowen's threat from earlier. It's been several hours, and now he's just saying it back to him, as if he could be intimidating as well in that way. It's nice and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, it's kind of related to the previous point. After that guy reports, suggests the idea of the road tax, Fuller says something like,
Ingenious, Felton. Only you could keep such a good brain under such a bad hat.
Yeah.
Under such a bad hat. You know what? In trying to do his voice...
Such a bad hat.
And such a bad hat. All I can do is aim for Lily Savage. See if that gets me close.
That's all any of us can do, Paul.
Tangentially, I'll say that him killing the dad was awful. It really got me down. That was a sad dad death.
Yeah.
Dina Mayer's dad. That was a bummer.
Got me down.
That got me down. I don't like that guy, David Foulis. And I never trusted him as Lupin.
No, because of that. I get it. I get it. That's why Alfonso Cuarón cast him. Fear. It's really fear. Be more Dragonheart. So following on from my previous point, when Dennis Quaid is inside the dragon's mouth, Dennis Quaid in the shadow of Randy Quaid, we get it's from the perspective of from behind the dripping tonsils of the dragon.
Yeah,
and it's this great prosthetic sack,
just
dripping with saliva. And then Dennis Quaid's face behind it. But then occasionally it cuts to behind Dennis Quaid when Sean Connery's talking, and his great big dragon tongue is flopping up and down between his legs when he speaks, which is a great effect, and it's like jostling Dennis Quaid with every syllable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool effect.
That was good. They built that entire mouth. That's good stuff. When you know... Okay, so there's a scene where the dragon is disguising himself as a bunch of rocks, which he never does again after this, but he's doing it now. When you know that he's there, as I do, the minute that they walk into that location, you can see him. You can see him as rocks. But it's subtle enough that you wouldn't spot him if you didn't know there was a dragon there disguised as rocks, and that's pretty cool. I like that.
True. Nell did go, as soon as that scene started, those rocks are so fake.
Well, it was CGI Sean Connery.
Yeah, she knew something was up.
And that's why Nell's not going to get surprised by any dragons in the near future. Nice try. And then she shoots it with her magnum that she's got.
Brat, motherfucker. Jesus. Changed. Ever since Dennis Quaid found you and gave you the gift of dragon hunting.
Ever since Roger Ebert died and sent you that bat, you've been really...
It was meant for Mark Kermode, but you'd previously killed him in a dream.
Okay.
So, yeah, David Thewlis and Jason Isaacs, both really fun. The two of them together, they were both kind of a fate at times. And in different ways. Like, Thewlis had his, now, mother, I'll kill you in an horrible way. And Jason Isaacs was almost prancing, like mincing at times. With like weird high-pitched voice, but with that horrible Jason Isaacs face. He's got a lovely face, but he's a very intimidating man.
He is. He's brilliant. I love him a lot. I'll go for both of the sort of big glory shots of the dragon. The first one is when he explodes out of the fountain during the battle. It's the first time you see him. You get a proper look at him. And he does look great in that moment, and then he flies into the air. And the other one is the very cheesy sunset shot, so that they could put it, just before the title drop in all the trailers. But they both, they looked really good. They were very exciting moments, I found.
Fuck yeah, man. There's a bit where Kara's holding a knife up against Bowen, and the way she's acting is as though Quaid is CGI and she's trying to figure this out on green screen. Not quite sure where he is.
Just trying to figure out the best place to stab him.
Yeah. Which bit of his face?
An unironically good line, I thought, was... Draco is bemoaning the fact that he doesn't want to just kill Dennis Quaid and have someone else show up to try and kill him. And the way he phrases this is
if I win, I wait around for the next sword slinger thirsting to carve a reputation out of my hide.
That was a very evocative sentence, I thought. Sword slinger thirsting to carve a reputation out of my hide. It was good. It got me in, like like the way that language should, like flavor text in a video game. It's like, I want to go conquer something and take part in a big battle.
Yeah. There's a few lines of Sean Connery's that were really evocative like that. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
When is it like King Arthur appears and speaks to Dennis Quaid to get him to recommit to his code?
Oh shit! That's what that's meant to be, because it was obviously Sean Connery the entire time, but he thought it was King Arthur for a minute. Is that the idea?
I guess so.
Okay.
But because there's a lovely warm glow on Dennis Quaid's face when it happened. It was a lovely glow. It made me feel so warm amidst all the rain. Yeah.
Okay, yes, a moment where Kara does say to Dina Meyer, I should say, be consistent with our own bullshit. Dina Meyer says to David Thewlis,
"In your kingdom, Einon, there are worse fates than death.
I'll think one up for you."
Fuck yeah, David Thewlis.
Love that.
Well, actually, next one in line for me is a David Thewlis line.
I know why you brought me the Dragon Slayers. You wanted them to kill him because you wanted me dead.
Yeah.
to his mum. Wanted me dead.
Me dead. Yeah. Fuck. Good stuff.
Great.
And I like that conceit that the mother wanted to... And her response is fucking cool as well.
I wanted to correct a mistake made years ago when I saved a creature not worth saving.
How unmotherly of you.
Yeah. All right, Julie Christie. Jesus.
Mother?
Mum! My mum said something to that effect to me. Very
every birthday.
So, I like the conversation about death that Draco has with Bowen. For my joshing that they sort of grow closer over the summer, I was surprised at how few scenes of them talking there were. Because when you're a kid, like, oh yeah, half of my life so far has been them talking. So, it's entirely believable, their relationship. But it's like 4 scenes in the actual movie, which...
Yes.
But that one in particular at the campfire where they talk about death and, what he is afraid of.
I should think you'd welcome death. The last of your kind, all your friends dead, hunted wherever you go.
Do you delight in reminding me? Yes, Knight. I do long for death. but fear it.
Why? Aside from your misery, what's to lose?
My soul.
It's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I really felt that they did grow closer over that summer.
It's England, I guess, so it's a very brief summer.
You got to make the most of it. I've only had one barbecue with my family in which we had to do all of our character and relationship building.
So much catching up.
Half of it was spent trying to like the fucking thing.
Hey. Garlic bread.
Oh, great. We're going to double our audience with that gag, mate.
God, I think I just snorted on my pop filter, so... driven the other half away, driven the loyal ones away. No. Like a pudding.
Yeah.
This could cleave a man's skull.
Like a pudding.
Fucking amazing.
And again, very evocative. I can imagine that axe like bursting into someone's head as a little kid.
Yeah, just delivered by Dennis Quaid, like a pudding. It just felt like that doesn't make any sense, even though it does. Where it registered in my brain was no. But I love this.
Shit. Another line of his was, which again I just like unironically, is
Hey! Why waste good food on bad rhetoric?
Yeah.
What a thing to say.
Target high. George Lucas, did you write this? So no, because it was actually good. When Pete Postlethwaite, he was really good in this, by the way. I really liked him.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, I love his voice.
He was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh no, so when he shoots an arrow into a soldier's ass during the war, he goes,
yeah.
Turn the other cheek, brother.
Which is wonderful. And he's got a little like fancy face.
Flirty little line. Oh,
yeah.
God. I like that the overall theme of the film is not to be complacent in the face of, like, overwhelming oppression. That was quite good. And I like that Dina Meyer was this kind of virtuous, speaking truth to power, never afraid kind of character. Having said that, I did enjoy the shot of her when they were all laughing at her.
Yeah.
She says he's in league with the dragon, and it's meant to be an oh fuck moment, all is lost. But they all just start laughing at her, and we cut to she's fairly small in the frame. And she looks grumpy with her arms crossed. She's not enjoying this laughing. And there's just a fucking massive pig snuffling around in front of her as if to further undermine her. Like, just everything about this situation is going to ruin her day. That was very good.
That was great. And that ending with a madly laughing Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Fucking clown!
Clown, I hate you!
Woo! Yeah. It was great. Another thing that was great was a great falling from building stunt.
Oh, yeah.
Someone gets stabbed atop a tower.
David Thewlis, right? When he falls through the fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. It was great, and you could see it happening. They didn't Assassin's Creed it.
No,
through the magicry, the wizardry of special effects, we can make it so it looks like nothing happened at all.
We can actually hide the stunt completely. I did enjoy the line, which I think again was used in the trailer of just
Well done, Boyan. You've done it again. What a brute! That's even bigger than the last one.
Actually, it's about the same size.
The delivery there is particularly jarring. It's wonderful.
Yeah. It was very much the joke.
Yeah.
You get it, kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it.
The emotion, it's incredibly emotional when Draco dies. This is the sequence of events. He gets hit in the art with an axe. He dies.
Yep. The build up to that was really good as well.
Yes,
sorry, with the heartbeat and the slow motion.
I start welling up, and then the fucking door opens and a mob Monty Pythons its way into the scene. One guy's literally, he looks like he's got rickets, is like jigging his way in with a big grin on his face.
Did not notice that.
Well, no, it's not that bad, but he's like, I think it may be meant to come across as in the moment, but it was very funny.
Oh, Christ. The villagers give Bowen his money at one stage in a bag made out of a cow's head, and it's horrible because you can still definitely see that is a skinned cow's head with face on it. That was and yet you could also fully believe that this is just what they'd use as a bag in this world.
Why not? Use the fucking stomach for a football.
Teenage girls have like little dog ones, very trendy.
I was going to say vajazzled the eyes, but that's different.
That is a different thing.
No, that's exactly... I mean exactly what you think I said. So, when the dragon goes to the bloody stars, and then the stars are reflected in Dennis Quaid's eyes, that would have been the moment I'd have ended the movie on, because it was gorgeous.
Well, it was an incredible explosion.
Yeah.
Of the light. It looked amazing when that happened. And the music, just that...
Yeah.
Just as it goes.
Yeah.
And it's still swelling. It's beautiful, the music on that moment. There was also a really good shot when Draco is telling the story of Dragon Heaven at Avalon, where it's really good. He's like on a giant... He's on a bit of... it's a very complex shot. You've got the model of Avalon in the background, the CGI model of Draco talking, and you've got live-action actors on a presumably actual set in the foreground. So you've got like 3 different stages and elements working together there, and it was very good. It looked beautiful. There was actually cinematography there, as opposed to just, Jesus Christ, if we get this done at all, it'll be a miracle. Fuck making it look nice.
There's a few moments like that in the movie. Effort came...
But this wasn't one.
No, I meant like a few good moments like that where everything came together.
Oh, okay.
And things were well done.
Yeah.
And I wasn't just doing a backhanded insult at the end.
Okay. I like the speech, about, oh, didn't you kill that guy? And it's like, no, I only chewed in self-defense, but I never swallowed. That happens in quite a far shot, where, like, Quaid is really small in the frame, and, he's got this massive fucking dragon looking down at him. It's, quite impressive.
Yeah, cool.
At odds with the comedy that's happening.
That's the 90s, mate. It's fucking epic. Well, my last one is the name of the second unit director of photography. Is Buzz Fights Hands the Fourth, motherfucker.
Fuck yeah, Buzz Fight Hands the Fourth. Sir Buzz Fight Hands the Fourth, it should be. Or Count.
Sir Buzz Fights Hands the Fourth.
Duke. What a man. What a great man.
Buzz quote marks the Duke fights Hands the Fourth. Quote marks the Duke.
But now he directs features, and he had to change his name to his original birth name of Christopher Nolan.
Now that's a tenet if ever I saw one.
That's a line that John David Washington has in that movie. Now that's a tenet if ever I saw one, he says, like Richard Ayoade. Alright, let me rattle off the rest of mine. Okay, as alluded to, Shao Kahn he doesn't get a chance to Kahn out very much, but he does have one line of, I need more men!
I need more men!
Which is great.
Yes, he does.
I enjoyed the battle quite a bit. It's obviously fairly bloodless, because it's for the kids, but there's some nice dual wielding that goes on. Tina May has an axe in each hand, and pretty fancy with it.
Fuck yeah.
Einon Christensen, Einon, he pulling the arrow out of his chest is gross, and I remember really being affected by that as a kid. Like, I imagine this sharp thing in your chest, and that got to me in a way that, I don't know, gets to you more when you're a kid.
Fuck yeah.
The scene between Julie Christie and Draco is really sweet, where, she comes to see him in the courtyard.
You know why I've come.
I know. In giving my heart, I've taken on every poison stirring in his evil breast. Even the pain of his death must be mine.
You cannot blame yourself. Death without immortality.
That was not the only reason. I had to wait for a time when mankind would not repeat my mistake and let tyranny thrive. When there would be those who remember the once ways, remember that even in the darkness there is still light. I cannot see. Are the stars shining tonight?
Brightly, my lord. Brightly.
Then let us end it.
It's this really bleak idea that she's just going to kill him, and it's going to be done without ceremony. This ancient, beautiful thing is going to pass away from the world out of necessity.
Just so shockingly ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Einon shows up, and it turns into a scene between him and her, which is also pretty grim, and ends with him killing her off screen.
Yeah.
Which I didn't clock, I don't think, when I was a kid, but yeah, that was a good sequence. I like the fact that when Shao Kahn dies, he has just enough awareness to sort of mutter, "A girl?" before he goes, which I enjoyed. Draco biting his hand in order to make Foolus drop a sword was quite good. I like that. I could have done with more of the idea of them being linked. Like, what does that mean? What is the impact of that?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd have definitely liked that explored most out of anything else in this movie.
Yeah, like maybe as Draco discovers his friendship with Bowen, that changes Foolus in some way. there's a lot to do there. Anyway, I like I've already mentioned the Heartbeat soundtrack and the star exploding. Okay, I'll end on this. The dragon effects have aged a little poorly, but they did manage to make a convincing character out of Draco, which at the time is very impressive in terms of his character design, his expressions. You know, I think this is before things like mocap are very common, you know, and it's how many years before Gollum? It's about 8 years, 7 years. It's very impressive for 96? The time. And 96 to 2002.
But it would have been in production before, like all the Gollum stuff would have been done before.
It would have been in production, but I mean, as late as the release of 2001's Fellowship of the Ring, they were going with a different model of Gollum. Okay. So the actual Gollum effects were principally done between the release of Fellowship and Two Towers in post-production. So, it's very impressive. It's very impressive that what they did there. And I remember it being a main selling point of the movie is come and see this very realistic CGI character. I vaguely remember it being on the news. With the sheep fucking line.
Well, that's what people respond to, isn't it?
That's what people are going to pay to see, yeah. So, that's my last good thing about the Dragonheart. And I would just say, I enjoyed it. Yay.
Well, that's... Where did you keep your mouth shut, sir? Because I've got a question.
Oh, shit, it's me!
I've got a question for you.
No!
And that question is, did the OG team have anything to say? Did the OG team have anything to contribute?
Oh, shit, I don't know. For the magic of Twitter. Okay. Baby Beard Media, so we've no idea which one. Just Baby Beard Media.
The Baby Beard Media.
The Baby Beard Media. I have it on VHS, but I've literally forgotten everything, I assume, except Sean Connery's dragon. And maybe David Foulis is in it? Maybe? I can confirm that definitely he's in it, and fuck yeah is the answer to all the other questions there.
Which Baby Beard Media member do you think that was? Listeners at home, tweet in with
we'll put a poll
your least favourite thing about them.
Tweet them directly to tell them they're slags. And that should do it. God, we had quite a few responses, actually. Blokebusters podcast got in touch to say that film is equal parts campy, aging poorly CGI, and awesome Sean Connery. Awesome, brackets, Sean Connery as a dragon. All arguments are invalid. Really, Goodman should be defending his dislike for this film. How did you imply that, Paul? You got to be more careful in these things. No, you got the Dragonheart on mob after you, mate. They're fucking coming.
I gave the most neutral tweet of all time because I hadn't seen the film yet.
You posted a picture of your face doing nothing.
So what's happening here, Paul, is because Paul shares our Christian name.
Yeah.
He assumes that we share emotions.
We do share a heart.
Only true when Pauls are involved. You know this, Paul. When a Paul whistles on a moonlit sky.
Your Paul senses are off. You've got to attune it again. Yeah. You've got to look lovingly into the eyes of another man named Paul, and then you'll be in with all of us, okay? Consult your nearest one.
So remember that going forward.
Sophie from You Know What I Like podcast has tweeted in to say, as a child, David Foulis' character felt so irredeemably evil that I really enjoyed hating him and rooting for his downfall. I remember being scared of him. I genuinely remember being afraid. No, you're right. David Foulis was awful. LL McCrae tweeted in, saying possibly the film that sparked a lifelong obsession with dragons. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I just like all these.
Tell us where the dragons are.
Tell us where that crappy-looking lair is so that we can go and be one with Sean Connery.
Go and live there.
I mean, I remember being somewhat obsessed with dragons earlier than that because we kept going to Wales, and I don't know if you know this, but they're into dragons over there a lot.
What?
It's on a lot of their shit. I think they've got like this weird fabric thing with a dragon on that they like fly about all over the place. I think it's from a movie. I don't know which one. Might be this.
It could be this.
Could be Dragonheart posters. They're just flapping around all over the place.
Yeah, right. Because I saw The Dig yesterday, and it wasn't in that, and it's not even set in Wales.
Shit. Well, that's invalid then. Jonathan Froust said 2 words. Sean Connery. Enough said. That's 6 words. In fact, anytime you say that, really should stop there. 2 words. I'm out. Oh, that was 4.
Well,
now it's more.
Oh shit! Still, thank you so much for tweeting in.
Yeah, Sean Connery managed to express a lot in this movie, and he was a really great presence. So fantastic! Yeah. Thank you so much, all of you. That was really wonderful to hear from you all. So thank you to the OG
new members
team.
of the OG team.
Thank you.
And existing ones. Do you reckon it's Jonathan? Is it Froust or Froust?
Oh, I'm not sure. Might be Froust. Froust.
Depends.
Froust.
Depends how French and
how French.
How
French are our listeners?
How French are our listeners?
How French are they now? So, yeah, I'm really thrilled that so many people got in touch about Dragonheart. I'm glad that this movie means things to other people as well.
Hooray. Well, that was that.
How was that?
There's no one better thing as far as I'm concerned. It's Dragonheart. You should watch Dragonheart.
Oh, I was briefly going to do a thing about Game of Thrones, but you know what? It's getting late in the day and I'll save it for another time. But watch Game of Thrones. Come on.
Suck my dick, Game of Thrones.
Come on. 6 good seasons. That's more than anything else gets.
6 is so many.
Name another show that had 6 great seasons. None. Watch Game of Thrones.
Okay. Well, Paul, at the end of that incredible saga, why don't you tell the people at home how they can get more of our 6 seasons of greatness?
Fuck yeah. I can't wait to start those. Yeah, all you need to do is just think really hard about the words OGT Pod. One of us will get an astonishing headache until we manage to find you and tell you about our podcast. So that really is all there is to it. If you want something a bit quicker, you can type OGT Pod into any search engine that you might fancy. I've checked them all. We're there in at least the first 5 pages. You can find us on Twitter at OGT Pod. Facebook, probably the same thing, only maybe slightly different. Only it'll use your data differently. And yeah, YouTube, everything. Probably YouTube, unless I sample more of the Tenet soundtrack. Bear that in mind. Stay safe. And, yeah, be good to each other.
Truer words were never said by an asshole.
Also, Screen Mayhem, Babybeard, Rollcast, Dockhead. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That'll do.
All in the episode description.
Look at it.
As are we in the episode description of life.
I'm Paul Appendix.
I'm also the Paul. I should have said mine first. I'm
Fuck.
the host. Don't take this away from me. It's too late now. And remember, as it's too late now, the one good thing about Dragonheart 1996, other than Sean Connery, is the image of a frustrated lady and a snuffling pig at her feet, and the promise of an incredible CGI site.
You will find no better analogy for the patriarchy.